Hi guys, welcome to a Year with Trees podcast. I'm your host Fatima, a huge lover and learner of trees, and this podcast is my love letter to them. I decided to take up this project because I have so many stories about them that I would love to share with others. So come along with me, let's explore the beautiful world of trees. And while you are at it, I hope you fall in love with them as much as I do. So what are we waiting for? Let's go ahead. This is a special tree for me. It's a neighbor. I particularly love to keep my window open in March and April when cool breeze blows in, filtering through its fresh new leaves. It's a Karanj tree, or Pongamia pinnata, also called Indian beech. When we first moved to this place, this tree was the first thing that caught my attention. It's a very tall tree with huge canopy, and when I first saw it, it was flushed with fresh lime green leaves and full of sprays of light pink and white flowers. It was a sight to behold. Now, whenever I look at this tree, it gives me a sense of walk in a pleasant forest. It cools my eyes, gives solace to my heart, and peace to my mind. No wonder that its name in Urdu is Sukhchan. Sukh is happiness and Chan is peace. A very apt name indeed. From my first floor window, the view of its greenery pans up to the sky and is still full of leaves and intersecting branches. It filters out outside noise and blocks the view of other buildings, and it only lets dappled sunlight in, which is beautifully termed in Japanese as komorebi. During the flowering time, butterflies flit around its branches and bees raid its flowers. Once I had seen hive of some native honeybee in it. I have also seen several bird nests tucked away among its branches at different times of year. Its frequent visitors include tailor birds, sunbirds, tits, white eyes, crows, doves, bulbuls, quails, and manas. Squirrels run up and down the tree chattering loudly. Once in twilight, when the tree was bare and leafless, in the beginning of the March, I had seen a shikra landing smoothly on the tree with a small mouse clutched in its tail. It fed on the mouse and glided away. A few days later, the tree transformed. Burgundy and lime green leaves burst out of its boughs, and the drab tree turned green gold. I love this tree a lot, but I also worry about it sometimes. It makes me wonder about its fate when the owner of the property decides to build a house there. I hope they accommodate it, as they have a small church just under it, and they may want to keep it for its cool shade. One can hope for the best. Well, then, let's move on to learn a thing or two about this tree. The tree looks amazingly fresh when new leaves sprout all over the tree. They're shiny burgundy when new, then turns lime green, and later a darker shade as leaves mature. I have read that burgundy leaves contain anthocyanin that protects leaves from harsh sunlight, insects, and browsing animals. The browsing animals, such as cattle and goats, don't eat its leaves anyway because it's bitter and toxic for them. The structure of a sleeve is pinnate or feather compound, which means leaflets attached to a stalk make the leaf look like a feather. On both sides of a stalk, roundish or oval leaflets are attached, and there is a terminal leaf, a leaf at the tip of the stalk. So it has a single terminal leaf. Once leaves mature, they look a little crinkled, and then by December, the leaves positively shrivel up because of leaf mining insects that eat up the leaves from inside. Once the leaves cover up the tree, the flowers start to bloom. But before that, small birds show up. They droop in clusters all over the tree, tiny maroon birds attached to a stalk. A blend of white and pink, the flowers start blooming in flushes. This is the time when pollinating insects raid the tree. The native bees buzz all over the tree, and so does butterfly, bumblebees, and honeybees. Karanj honey is widely produced in my home state Jharkhand, where orchards of Karanj trees are dotted with commercial hives. Their honey is flowy, liquid gold that tastes mild sweet and a bit tangy, and is considered medicinally potent for treating throat infections. Personally, it is my favorite honey flavor, and I also find it super helpful as a medicine. Just a teaspoon of it in a cup of hot herbal tea eases sore throat and cough. Anyway, once the flowers are pollinated, fruit pods begin to form and continue to mature in the branches till late in the year. The smooth, oval pod has pointy ends and is green when freshly formed and turns brownish as it matures. The pod contains one and sometimes two seeds. The pods can't be easily opened, and once they fall off the tree, they disintegrate, and then seeds sprout up. The seeds of this tree have been used to extract oil since ancient times. Pongam or Karanj oil is famous for its use in folk medicine for treating skin issues and other ailments. The oil is also used as lamp oil in village regions. Similar to neem oil, it's used as insecticide because of its toxic compounds such as pongamol and carrageenan, and is used for making soaps as well. The oil can't be used for cooking though because it's bitter and toxic. And not only the seeds, but its bark is considered medicinal too. Its soft twigs are used as toothbrushes, similar to the pilu tree sticks, and are considered good for oral hygiene. The light brown, mildly textured bark is crushed in folk medicine for various ailments too. The wood is mostly used as fuel in rural areas where it's easily available. Now let's talk about the habitat of this tree. So, first of all, the Karanj tree belongs to the pea family, and it is partly deciduous and mostly evergreen, which means that it does shed its leaves, but only for a short duration of time in March. And soon new leaves sprout up, which will stay adorning the tree throughout the year. This tree is mostly found in Indian subcontinent, South Asian countries, and northern Australia. It grows naturally in riverbanks and tidal areas. It's a hardy tree, which means it can stand on salty waters of coastlines as much as polluted air and water scarcity in the cities, and still thrives reasonably well. This tree is not only full of medicinal properties, it's also a biodiversity hotspot and ecologically beneficial. It supports life of many animals, contributes to soil health because of its nitrogen fixing capabilities, and its roots bind the soil preventing soil erosions. So all in all, it's a great tree to plant, full of great benefits, and then just because it looks amazing. Now, let's talk about how we can identify this tree out in the open. During flowering season, this tree is rather easy to identify. The drooping sprays of white pink flowers and fresh lime green leaves are good enough indicator. While for the rest of the year, the pinnate leaves are good identifier. Round or oval dark green leaflets make up a pinnate leaf. Leaflets are part of a common stalk that make up one leaf structure. For Pongamia, a main stalk has leaflets on both the sides and a single leaf at the tip of the stalk. It's a medium-sized tree and mostly grows straight as avenue trees in India. During December to March beginning, the tree leaves start to dry up and looks crispy both because it is time to start shedding and the leaf miners eat it up from the inside. From March end and start of April, the dried leaves and leaflet branches can be used as an identifier. Anyway, that's all for today's episode. I hope you come across this tree in your vicinity and enjoy its beauty and shade. Hope you enjoyed today's episode about Pongamia pinnata or the Karanj tree. For this episode, I referred to Trees of Delhi Field Guide, some online articles, and my own observations. Do subscribe to the podcast in app of your choice and share this podcast for the sake of tree love. Also, your reviews are very welcome. Thank you all. Stay tuned.